Welcome back to Mean Streets, the podcast where we investigate the best, worst, and forgotten movies of film noir and more. I'm Luke Deckard.
And I'm Matthew Booth.
And we are your cinematic sleuths. Now it's time to crack another case.
Matt, I'm excited about this little investigation that we got tonight.
Yeah, me too. Me too. This is an interesting film.
Yes.
Because today we're looking at 1931's version of The Maltese Falcon, starring Bebe Daniels, Ricardo Cortez, and Dudley Diggs. Written by Maude, Fulton, and Brown Holmes, adapted, of course, from the Dashiell Hammett novel, and directed by Roy Del Ruth. And the IMDb logline goes as follows. A lovely dame with dangerous lies employs the services of a private detective who is quickly caught up in the mystery and intrigue of a statuette known as the Maltese Falcon.
We were going to actually do the 1941 version.
We were.
But we recently guested on another podcast that brought up conversations of a noir kind. And as a result of that, I sent you a message like, hey, why do we do 1931's The Maltese Falcon and save 1941 for another day?
Yeah.
And for better or worse, here we are. Now, I think it's safe to say there will probably inevitably be some comparisons to the 1941 version. I think it's probably going to be hard to not do that, but you know, the main focus is 1931. But we're going to have to compare.
I think it's hard not to compare, but I think it's unfair.
Yes. Oh, interesting. You think it's unfair? Oh, interesting.
I think it's just only because we'll get onto it.
What's your initial impression of the Maltese Falcon 1931?
My first impression is that it's a pretty rollickingly paced run through the book, by which I mean it tells the story in a very short space of time. 70 minutes or so, is it? Whereas I think the 1941 is easily an hour and a half, easily an hour and 40 minutes maybe.
Yeah. I
mean, overall, I enjoyed it, by which I mean I found it interesting. It's a long time since I'd seen it. It's not this isn't the first time I've seen it, but nowhere near as many times as the 41 version.
Yeah.
So it was a bit like rediscovering it for me.
Yeah. Same. This is not one that I revisit on any regular basis. So going back and rewatching it was sort of like, oh yeah. Oh, interesting. Oh, yeah. You know.
Do you own a copy? Do you own it?
I own a digital copy. Digital copy. I don't own a physical copy for, whatever that says about the film. I mean, you know what? I feel like I should. I feel like I need to go buy a physical copy of this because there is, I don't hate this film. I think, another easy comparison is going to be Murder My Sweet and Farewell My Lovely.
Yeah.
I think. And where, the two adaptations, well, three, but the two adaptations of those two adaptations of Farewell My Lovely, both are very strong and have a lot of merit to both of them. Whereas, this is kind of the same thing in that they're both adapting the same source material. It's basically beat for beat the same thing. In fact, this script was the basis for the 1941 film as well. But there are just certain things that don't hold up as well in the 31 version. But then there are also things that I think are stronger in this than are in the 41 version.
No, I agree with that. And it'll be interesting to see if we mesh on that or whether we think of different things. But I agree. There are some things that are markedly different. There are some things markedly better, I should say. There are some things that are markedly worse. But we'll
So I think for that reason, I think I have enough justification to seek out the physical copy and own it. It's just something I haven't set my mind to yet. So I haven't accomplished.
Yeah. Well, I watched it this time because I don't own a physical copy. And I watched it this time thinking, well, this will decide for me whether I go out and get one. Because like you, I feel from a completion point of view, I probably should have this. But I wasn't sort of tearing my hair out to get a copy over the last 30 odd years 40 years that I've been looking and had an interest in film noir. So read into that what you will.
Yeah. Well, I can give you 2 solid reasons why you should own this. And these are my 2 reasons. And that is Bebe Daniels and Una Merkel.
2 very good reasons. And we'll talk more about those later on, I suspect.
But we can go behind the camera, talk about how this film got made or what little information there is out there. There's very, very little information on the actual production.
Yeah.
Of this.
I couldn't find much at all.
No, it's info is sparse. Maybe there's a book out there somewhere that I missed, but info on this is sparse. As we said, yes, it's based off Dashiell Hammett's novel, which it was actually released serialized. It was short. It was released as serial in Black Mask magazine beginning in December 1929, I believe, and then came out in full in 1930. And I mean, hey, the Maltese Falcon. Might as well talk about the book for a minute. That is the defining text of sort of what is hard-boiled detective fiction, what kind of solidifies the code of what becomes, what we think of as film noir. It's all sort of here. The birth of the actual birth of the femme fatale is in this book. The sort of fatalistic aspect of the genre really kicks into play here. Wonderful blend of golden age mystery, but post, depths of the Great Depression American cynicism. It's all here in the mold. All comes together here.
Yeah, the PI's moral code, his own moral code, all in it. And I reckon if you did a poll of the man in the street, and so not noir aficionados or crime fiction nuts, I bet if you just asked the man in the street to name a Dashiell Hammett book, if he could, this would be the one he'd name. And I think if you asked him to name some American private eye characters, I reckon they'd say Sam Spade before they say the Continental Op. I don't mean enthusiasts or experts. I mean Joe Public. I think they'd say Sam Spade and the Maltese Falcon before they'd say the Dane Curse, and the Continental Op.
Yeah, no, the Dane, the Continental Op. Though I thoroughly enjoy the Op stories, and maybe at times like them. Depending on the story, like them better than the Maltese Falcon.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing, though, about the Maltese Falcon, the novel, is that unlike the Continental Op, and unlike the vast majority of hard-boiled fiction, it's told in third person.
Yeah.
It's not told in first person past tense, which is really, where we are so used to that voiceover in noir fiction films, and that is because they're lifting the narration from the novels. That's where that's coming from. So it's interesting that the quintessential PI novel, the thing that sort of solidifies most of the tropes, is actually missing one of the biggest tropes, and that is the PI narration. We aren't in Sam Spade's head, and frankly, would you want to be?
No, not really. Not really. I don't think he's as nice a bedfellow, to put it one way, as Marlowe is. I don't think he's as easy to get along with as Marlowe is. I think he'd be a tougher cookie to be that close to. But having said that, from memory, it's quite a long. I must reread the Maltese Falcon. It's a long time, but most of it might as well be a first person, mightn't it? He's the eyes and ears, isn't he? Really?
I mean, we are following Spade. It's not following.
There's no scenes without him, is there? So
no, it is following him, but it's a fly on the wall kind of narrator. Who's watching Spade do all of Spadey's Spadiness.
It's third person, but not multiple points of view. Fly on the wall. No. Would you want to be in Sam Spade's head?
No, I don't think so. And I think he's also a character that one and done is good.
Yeah.
I don't need more Sam Spade. I think this is this story, in my opinion, is at the end, it's to do more adventures just feels inauthentic. And I know that he wrote a sequel that was not officially, I don't think it was officially published, but it is out. You can buy it now. Dashiell Hammett did write a sequel, or another story. I don't know if it's an actual sequel directly to the Maltese Falcon. I can't remember now, but he did write another Sam Spade story. And I think maybe there's a short story out there. I don't know if I'm getting these two confused or not.
There's definitely a short story, I think.
Yes, so maybe that's what I'm referring. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. But again, I'm like, I'm all right. I don't need,
No,
I like reading Constantine stories. Those are fun. I like, it's fun to go from Red Harvest to the short stories. I can get a lot from both. There's legs to the op. But the op is the original Tarnished Knight. He's still a good-ish guy. Red Harvest pushes him to the limits, but
yeah, it does.
But I think he's still on the side of the angels. Sam Spade is on the side of Sam Spade.
Yeah. Well, the very fact you say the op's on the side of the angels, but we're told on page 1, aren't we, that Spade looks like a blonde Satan. The blonde Satan,
which I love.
Yeah, so you're instantly in a different territory there, I think.
Yes,
and I agree. I think everything that Hammett has to say about Spade it's in these 200 odd pages, whatever it is.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I agree. I know what you mean when you say it being inauthentic to have another novel about him, certainly, because he's just in this, isn't he? He's just he does everything he needs to do as a character in this. And how do you follow the ending of the book? How do you follow it?
Yeah,
it just be more of the same, which is that's not a criticism, but
no,
it's. I mean, in fact, it's quite a one-off. I can't think of many more who just do one crime novel about one detective and they're done. I can't think of many because most people want the series.
Mm-hmm. Even
and
back
I think
then,
the series would weaken Spade. I think he's unique in that.
Yeah, I like that. I think whatever the reason for the restraint was, I don't know. It was before the Hammett, communist issues. This came out well before that, so that wasn't the case. But yeah, whatever the reason was that allowed Dashiell Hammett to not carry on properly with the series, I applaud. I'm happy with that because
I'm with it.
Wouldn't need it. It makes me think of even on films that we've covered. I mean, we covered Drive. Drive, though, does have a sequel. The novel has a sequel. The film, that would never need a sequel.
No.
That would ruin it.
Yeah. Whereas The Nice Guys, he's crying out for one.
But The Nice Guys is crying out for it. My God. Anyway, but so the novel is one of my favorites noir novels, hard-boiled novels.
Me too.
It's hard not to love this one. It's hard. The characters that Hammett creates here, Spade is great, Bridget is great, Effie is great. There's just so much life and personality to everyone that we come across. And I mean, that Flintcraft parable that is told in the book about the guy who runs away from his life, and Spade's been hired to track him down. He left his wife, left his family, wanted to go have romps and find the grass is greener life, basically. And where does he find the guy? He finds the guy in another marriage, in another very similar life, and he leaves at the impetus that makes this Flintcraft character leave his life is because almost like a Looney Tune cartoon moment, a piano that people are raising up and putting into one of the top floor flats of a building, breaks and falls and almost crushes him, but just misses him. And he has this moment of like, oh my God, I need to live. I need to go bang a bunch of ladies. That's basically what he does. But then when Spade finds him, the moral is like he's literally just right back to where he was. His life wasn't any better or any different to what he left behind. So, it's that sort of that question of what's the point?
What's the point? Yeah.
Things of life, of and on a with Spade's character, where does he begin and where does he end? He is that parable. He big adventure, but where does he end? Right back at that desk.
Yeah.
Iva Archer wanting to, have send her in.
Send her in. Yeah. Yeah. Which of course is the point of the parable in the book. It's just to show that like men are men, aren't they? And you might think the grass is greener, but you'll just end up making the same mistakes all over again because that's what people do.
Yeah, it's all this futility, It's
that's right.
Chase for the bird, these chasing of these relationships, and everything leaves you empty and hollow because you're what you're chasing isn't authentic. So that isn't to say like relationships can be authentic, but the types of relationships in the book that are being chased and the types of things that are being chased are all flashy and ulterior motived.
Yeah. Which is why you get that killer final line in the 41 version.
Yeah.
That it's the stuff that dreams are made of. It is. That's exactly what the Maltese Falcon represents. It represents that unattainable ideal in life that you are desperate to get your hands on, and when you do, it's fake. Or it's not what you thought it was, or it just leads to a whole load more trouble, whatever it might be. Brilliant sort of MacGuffin, the original and the best MacGuffin almost.
Yes. Oh God, yes. I there's nothing that tops the Maltese Falcon in terms of MacGuffin. Nothing. That is just quintessential.
It's ideal. It's ideal.
Yeah. So directed by Roy Del Ruth. Not a guy I know much about.
No.
I don't know if you do, but he had a very long career in Hollywood.
Not somebody I know much about. No, not somebody whose films I can instantly say that's a Del Ruth film.
Yeah, no, me neither. He started off as a writer for a American Canadian producer. Shot a bunch of, then in the 20s started making a lot of movies. I think some of his hits include things like Asleep at the Switch, Hollywood Kid, Eve's Lover, The Little Irish Girl. And then went on and did this. But so he a really long career. What I will say, because this is 1931, and we're sort of in the pre-film noir era. Purists will want to say that that's kind of 1940 through the end of 1950, that particular period. And again, I sort of push back at some of this stuff because you see a lot of early noir. What is film noir happening in the late 20s and in the 30s. But you also find that with literature, everyone acts like the 1920s through the 30s was this golden age, British golden age boom. But actually, like the Dashiell Hammett was writing the Continental Op in the 1920s. Race Williams, the precursor to, Race Williams is another hard-boiled character who was simultaneously published alongside Dashiell Hammett. And they were both those sort of hard-boiled, tough as nails PIs. So this stuff really was coming about into popularity in the 1920s, and then by the 40s, it had reached the zeitgeist. It was everywhere. So it made sense for the films, for more films of this nature to, come out on a more regular basis, and these books to be quickly adapted and stuff. I mean, again, Maltese Falcon, 1930 was the year that it came out in completion. 1931, you get your first film. Tells you how big that book was.
I was going to say how successful that book was, and how popular that book was. That it's instantly seen as a prize property. But you're absolutely right about just to go back to that point. You're absolutely right. The golden age and noir fiction, they coexisted for good few years, but people do forget. People do forget because the golden age was such an explosion. I don't, you know, that's the only reason I've ever really come across that. Then it sort of dominated the 1930s, particularly. But it burnt out. It's pure in its pure classic form. It burnt out quite quickly.
Oh yes.
You know, after the Second World War, it's done really.
Yeah.
And then it becomes a comfort read rather than anything else, you know. So, but they did coexist. I mean, that's true to say they did coexist, and the 20s saw the start of all of it.
Yeah, and I think kind of to pull it back to Del Ruth, I think he has a lot of goddamn good style in this. You know, visual style. Yeah. There are scenes where there's a scene where someone walks into Spade's office and it feels like it's a handheld scene. It almost feels like a Paul Greengrass Born a Supremacy shaky cam following scene. Which made me think, like, how cameras were huge back then. What was that, just on a shaky track, or was someone actually lugging a camera? Like, it was a cool kind of making you feel in the room effect that it's one that I can't think of off the top of my head a scene like that in some of the other noir films that we've covered from this particular era. It was a cool shot.
No, I can't. And you're right, cameras were massive. They were really big. So it must, and they were always on dolly tracks. So it must be that. I mean, it's almost possible to believe it was an accident.
Yeah, it's true.
It was true. A badly laid track. But it does look good. It does look really effective.
It does. But also that opening scene of Spade, the Spade making out with the faceless woman on the other side of the glass. The shadows were just, again, the shadow, the light, the playing. Like, this is, this is era of, the era of Frankenstein and The Bride of Frankenstein and those movies as well that are visually stunning, but also, German expressionism is all over those horror movies. And I don't know, you can kind of feel, you can feel what will be the bigger noir influences, I think, in this movie. It's only 10 years between this and the Maltese Falcon, right? But the style, the framing, it really is visually. I was very taken by this film. I thought it looked great. I thought, I thought Del Ruth really had he had a really good eye to get the scenes done well.
I agree with that. And they're all blocked very well. The imagery at the end where he's looking through the prison bars, I mean, that looks really good. It's saying something rather than it just being him looking through prison bars,
Yes.
And it's visually telling you something. Because it's pre-code, you get, going back to the opening scene, you get her adjusting a skirt and stuff, which the 41 can't do, really. I think there's a lot to be admired in Del Ruth's work in this.
It's safe to say he made one sexy film. I will go on the record to say I think this is sexier than the 1941 version. Not just because of the nudity and the pre-code stuff, but that also adds to it. But in general, this is just there is a stronger sex appeal, which we'll get into here in just a little bit.
There definitely is.
The screenwriters, again, interesting people, penning this particular adaptation. Brown Holmes worked on this, obviously. He's also listed as co-writing the second adaptation called Satan Met Lady in 1936, which was, because of code issues, they couldn't show this version again, so they remade it even worse. But he worked on things like Perry Mason. He wrote several Perry Mason films. Again, kind of going back to The Big Sleep. There's a lady in the room. There's a lady in the writer's room. Maude Fulton. who was a Broadway actor and a dancer. Her career began in 1906, had a very, very successful acting career, went on and wrote a play called The Brat, which came out in 1917, had over 100 performances, was then picked up to be turned into a film. And then after, she wrote more Broadway, then she went and wrote the, in the little intertitles bits for silent pictures. She wrote that stuff, but then also went on to write actual, full on movies. And this is one of her credits. And I sort of wonder, because one thing that is particularly strong about this version of the Maltese Falcon that is not strong in the slightest in the 1941 are the female characters.
Yeah, I knew
Bridget,
you were going to say that.
Effie, Iva, they all pop. And I think this is a mixture of it. And this is complicated because the 41 version is based on this script. What is making them pop? Dialogue or actors or both? It's the combination. And one is stronger than the other.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of both, because if the words stay the same, that's one thing. But if two people say them in different ways,
yes,
that's where the magic lies, I think.
Yes,
it's got to be a combination of the two.
So I guess it's probably also worth noting, just in the general kind of history of Dashiell Hammett's adaptations, the Maltese Falcon, this is not the first adaptation of his. In general, there was the Red Harvest, which was done in 1930, which I think was done under a different name. Roadhouse Nights, I think it was. And then there is City Streets, which is a short story. Hammett was kind of a big deal around this time. Again, look, he's been writing throughout the whole 20s. The Continental Op is a big name. The Red Harvest was a big book. The Maltese Falcon was a big book. If you're looking for, a big name writer to, adapt, novels into movies, make sense that he would be the one you go to, because of all of the early hard-boiled writers, he was the one that was standing out the most.
Yeah, and he's very cinematic. I've always thought he's cinematic. The way the books are written, they burst off the page. I think they're inherently more cinematic than a lot of some of Chandler's stuff, which they translate into good films. I'm not saying that, but there's just something very visual about the way Hammett writes. It's so eye-popping. And that's why I think you get, straight after this, you get, well, not a few years after, you get The Thin Man, you get The Glass Key. We know what studios are like. They see something in these books that they think will make a dime, and they do, and they continue to do, because the remakes of The Glass Key, although not, it has its issues. Adam Ladd, maybe. But that's a great film as well. I think that's a superb film as well. And there's just something inherently visual about the way his books come across to me. So it comes as no surprise that they translate so well onto the screen when they're done properly. When they're done with a bit of style. Yeah.
Oh, I agree. And I think the other kind of strong point that this film has that for me, tips the favor in its direction versus 1941 is that thing that I mentioned a minute ago, and that is it is a sexier film, and part of that is because this is a pre-code film, and the thing is, there's nothing in this film that is like scandalous,
No.
like especially compared to today.
Yeah, well, if you watch Frederick March's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, there's a lot more to trouble the code in that than there is in this. That's just pushing the envelope all the way.
Yes.
But I agree that by comparison, this is quite tame, and yet it has much more sexiness than the 41 version, which is quite buttoned up and repressed by comparison.
It is.
It's a fascinating. That is one comparison between the two that really fascinates me.
Yeah, because there's
this underlying sexiness this film has.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, the Maltese Falcon is also a sexy book, and that is like Spade is banging people. He's banging lots of women. He's not James Bond or whatever, but he's having an affair with his partner Miles's wife Iva. He's got a little bit of a flirtation going on with Effie. You're not really sure if they have something going on, but he's head over heels for Ruth Wonderly, Bridget O'Shaughnessy, you know, and they're blatantly hooking up. It is clear as day throughout the novel that they are getting together, and there is some sexy time going on. And you know, the 41 version is so repressed on this stuff, and this is such an integral part to this story.
Yeah, it's
such an integral part to the femme fatale at this point in time, because this, you know, the whole kind of fear of women having agency is, you know, is they're going to use their sexual wiles and charms to manipulate men and kill them, and it's this whole sort of, this film allows that to be closely adapted in a way that the 41 version is unable to do, and even, I would say, even afraid to even attempt to like suggest it, where, you know, this movie, you know, there's things that they probably couldn't fully do even in a pre-code period, but when Wonderly spends the night, his pillow has been laid in, has been slept in, you know, or when at the very beginning of the movie, that opening scene where he sees him, you know, making out with this faceless woman, just emphasize that he is just this philanderer. We go into his office, and his office is a wreck. They clearly were banging all over that office.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and it's like, damn, this is spicy stuff.
Yeah, this is good stuff. Yeah.
And, you know, it gives you an insight into Sam Spade that is really closer to the book than the Bogart version.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree, because I've always got I reckon Sam and Effie really, you know, I don't think there's doubt that they have in the past.
Yeah.
Maybe just both knowing it was casual, but whatever. They definitely have. And with Iva, I always get the impression that, you know, she's just, I think she wants more from him than he's willing to give her.
Definitely.
But the whole point is, I think he's the chaser, you know, and I think he's the one that thinks it's all just a bit of fun.
Yeah.
Until he meets Wonderly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the whole point is, the reason she is the femme fatale is because she's the one that he gets on the hook for, you know, and she's the one that suckers him. So it makes perfect narrative sense to have him as a philanderer, for him to have that character arc to end up like head over heels. You know, she is the one that not changes his ways. I don't say that, but, you know, she is the one that actually does come to mean something, whereas the others have just been a bit of fun. Yeah, you know, and that's what this film captures. Whereas you're right, in the Bogart one, there's just a bit of mild flirtation with Effie, and you get the sense that Ida's a real pain in his backside.
Yeah, you do.
You know, and that you could do without her, really.
Yeah, yeah. You
Whereas
sort of
not
struggle.
In this, not in
no,
this.
no, not in this one at all. No, in the 41, you're sort of like, why did you even? I don't get it. Like, I get it in the books. I get it in this film. I struggled it, but with the 41 version, I'm like, I don't see it. I don't get it. But all right.
And that might just be the code. But I don't know. It just seems.
I think it's code, and I think it's actors. I'll just go there now. I think the women actors in this version, I think Bebe Daniels, Una Merkel, and Thelma Todd they're all sexy in their own way. Yeah. And I mean, Bebe Daniels is like, I will commit all the crimes for you. All the crimes. Like, I get it. Like, that is, honestly, it's perfect fucking casting. Because she is so gorgeous, but also so snappy and witty and fun and intelligent. You're just like, you were like this whole fucking package. Holy shit. And so I get why Spade would fall for that. I get why Spade, this version of Effie is so fun. You're like, you would be a hell of a person to hang out with. And to be in a relationship
great mate
with.
On a night out. A great night out. Yeah,
she is the way Una plays this role is just, there is so much spark and life to her that, really Effie has a very small role in this, but but the scenes that she has, like, they matter, they mean something, and you feel them. Even Thelma Todd, Iva Archer, like, her role is really small. Really small. That bit when she comes to Archer's flat and knocks on the door, and Wonderly is there, and she's wearing Iva's kimono.
Yeah, who's that in my kimono? Yeah,
and then Bridget takes off and throws the kimono on the ground and stuff. You're like, it's these things stand out to you, whereas like. I have literally just watched the 1941 version. There's no scene with any of these three except for maybe the last scene with O'Shaughnessy that really pops in my mind.
No, I know.
It's just a crying scene.
Yeah, and I've long held the view that I don't understand the attraction.
Oh, I don't either.
To Mary.
No, she looks like my grandma.
Yeah, I don't understand why someone as tough as Spade would go head over heels for her. Because when I watched the 41 version, you are thinking, but Effie and Iva are so much more alluring.
Well, Effie doesn't work for me either. She's got like drunk alcoholic aunt vibes to me.
Maybe that's why I like. but yeah, I think I can understand you like doing stuff for these two, but for this woman, and I don't buy she's tough enough to survive what she is doing, really, and to be the planner behind it all. But by God, I believe in Bebe Daniels.
Yes. Yeah,
I buy her 100%, and this is one of the main pluses and the main improvements for me. Improvements is the wrong word, but one of the main pluses for me in this version over the 41, and that is that I believe everything about her.
Yeah,
and if you read the book after listening to this and watch the two versions, you'll know exactly what we're talking about. I think. She's much closer to the book.
Yeah, watching this or rewatching this reminded me, like, oh my God, I feel like I actually am watching Bridget O'Shaughnessy on screen.
Yeah,
I'm actually seeing it. This is her. It's one of those moments, just sort of like that perfect casting just clicks. So those three women are
all three of them. I think all three of them are knockout.
Yeah,
and when Effie says you'll want to see her anyway, she's a knockout, which is a great line. Yes. It says a lot about Spade.
Yes,
I'm thinking, yeah, and I'm thinking, don't go too far away, Effie, either, because you're a knockout as well. And then Iva's on the phone, and I think, God, how does this man cope?
I know, right? Exactly. Jeez. Oh, he's got a stupid grin on his face all the time.
No wonder.
One other thing that I like about this film, because I do want to get into Spade and I want to get into Ricardo Cortez as well. But one other thing I liked about this film, and I sort of should have mentioned earlier, but in terms of not just like the blocking, the framing, but the set design, is it's so wonderfully Art Deco. All over the place. Yeah. There are, there's like kind of that Art Deco Egyptian iconography, that Tutankhamun mania, design stuff happening all over the place. There's one bit where it looks like Sam has a picture of Louise Brooks.
Yeah,
with her little Bob Do on his wall. Which I thought was fun, but just everything about like the clothes that particularly the ladies are wearing are all so fucking flattering. They're so sexy. Like, holy shit.
Absolutely beautiful.
And again, you compare these clothes to what they were in the 40s. You're like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, what the hell? But like, I mean, when O'Shaughnessy comes out wearing that silk gown thing, you're like, oh my god. Or when Iva turns up in that black dress with those white pinstripes on either side of her, you know, outlining her curves, you're like, this is so visually exciting. Like, these are beautiful clothes, these are beautiful people. There's that Gatsby element to this, you know, where everyone is beautiful, everyone is dressed beautifully, and and you're just immersed in this visual style. But the rooms are beautiful, the decor is beautiful, and I there's a lot to really admire about this film. But you know,
they all look beautiful, but they're all as corrupt as sin. And obviously Spade and Archer is doing very well, because Spade's apartment is like Bruce Wayne's study.
Yes, yes, it is.
It's absolutely opulent. His dressing gown's beautiful. It's just like he's loaded.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's the thing. I never got the impression that Sam Spade was hurting. Again, he kind of breaks that mold of that, you know, down on his luck PI. He's sort of. Well, but I think that's unlike Marlowe, he insists on being paid for his work. He insists on being paid, but I think there's maybe a closer similarity between Spade and Jake Gittes. And definitely. Look, this is just my job. I'm gonna do my job, and you're gonna pay me for my job, and this is my job. Yeah,
and I'll do my job as well as I can, and you will have my full support, my confidentiality, my discretion. But you pay. I mean, the fact that Gittes gets contracts out, you know, and as a secretary, he's doing all right. You know, he's doing okay. I just wanted to mention a missed opportunity in the casting, unless you want to come back to more of the other casting later.
We can talk about
This is only very quick, because I've more to say about two of the other characters and about Spade.
Yeah, sure.
I'm a huge fan of Dwight Fry.
Yes.
Who in this is Wilmer, but he's totally wasted.
He is,
and he's perfect casting for Wilmer. That's the irony. Because if you watch him as Renfield in Lugosi's Dracula, before he goes mad, he's got that wide-eyed innocence that Wilmer has. And he's also got an ability to turn dark, as he does in Dracula. And he was a great character actor, and he should be far more well-known than he is. And when I saw him, his name in the credits, I saw him come out, I thought, oh, brilliant. But he does nowhere near as much as Alicia Cook. And that's a real shame for me. Putting it on record. Dwight Fry deserved a lot better than this film gave him for this film.
Yeah, I agree. And again, I think this is, you know, these are where things kind of tip in the other film's favor is it has more time. This is an hour and 20. You can't really give him too much, because we're cutting into the Archer Bridget.
Absolutely. It's just
not Archer, Spade, Bridget O'Shaughnessy. We're cutting into all that kind of stuff. But no, what little bits he had were good. But I agree. He was definitely I'll say the most underutilized. He was underutilized. Yeah. I don't want to call him bad. He wasn't bad at all.
No, not bad. No, just wasted. And I could have handled 5 more minutes of screen time to have him protest a bit more about being made the scapegoat. But these things happen.
While we're on this, let's save Mr. Cortez for the finale of our character conversations, because I feel like if we go talk about Gutman and so on, it will be a little bit anticlimactic. This was Cairo, Gutman. Cairo played by Otto Matieson, and Casper Gutman is played by Dudley Diggs.
Now, I knew Dudley Diggs from other films.
Yeah, wasn't he in Frankenstein or something? Was he in he was maybe I'm wrong. Maybe
he's in The Invisible Man. He's definitely in The Invisible Man.
Yeah, that's something.
But he was in Mutiny on the Bounty with Charles Lawton. He's definitely in that.
Yeah,
and he's in Raffles with David Niven.
Yeah.
And those he plays Mackenzie in Raffles. That's where I knew him from, really. That and Mutiny on the Bounty. And I always thought, yeah, I like him in Raffles. I thought he was well matched in Raffles. He's like he reminded me of the Penguin's granddad or something. In this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is where the film now begins to let itself down.
Yeah.
And I think Cairo and Gutman are two really good examples of that, which will then be dealt with in more detail with Cortez.
Yeah.
And that is, this version of Casper Gutman is not scary, is not menacing, and feels like he's in a goddamn Three Stooges movie.
Yeah. He's got that ridiculous hairdo that's got like two loops at the front.
Yeah.
You know?
I can stomach that, but it's more that the way he is acting, the direction he's been given is everything is played for laughs. Everything.
Yeah.
And he's cartoonish in his villainry. And it was
because he is a smiling villain, isn't he? As Conan Doyle says. He is a smiling villain. And they've taken the word smiling literally and made him a joke because Sydney Greenstreet is. I'll tell you what, I missed Sydney Greenstreet's delivery.
Oh my God, yes.
You know,
and the conversation, yes.
Yeah, and all the my God, sir, I like a man who speaks his mind, sir, and all that.
Yes.
This is just so diluted and weak in comparison. And I know it's unfair to compare them, but this is why I think it's inevitable, because Greenstreet and Laurie and Peter Lorre are so ingrained, and they were such a good double act and so well cast. I can't help but compare them to these two. Yeah. And there's only ever going to be two winners. And it's a shame. It's a shame because they're no threat whatsoever.
Yeah. Well, this is where we get to the big, one of the big problems. That is everything that I love about this version, the 1930 version, is everything that I dislike about the other, and everything I dislike about the other I like about this one. So it's like the lady characters and the visual styles are fantastic. I mean, the visuals in the 1940 version are great as well. I'm not knocking that. But on the acting side, the male characters in the 41 version, fantastic, pitch perfect mostly. You know, the male characters in this, oh God, you've really missed them. I mean, let's just briefly talk about Miles Archer. Why is he so fucking old?
I don't know.
He walked in, and I was like, why? He's like, he was like, I don't know, like 60 or 70, and I was like, what do you do? Your wife is Thelma Todd, really?
Yeah. How did that happen?
Yeah, exactly.
How did that happen? Because he's a bit of a dandy in the 41, isn't he? He's got like that carnation or whatever it is in his buttonhole.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a bit of a sleaze. He's like, I'll see you, and all that business.
Yes.
Whereas this one came across as a much sadder man. Obviously knowing that Spade is, having it away with Ivor. And I got the impression that he would have done something about it if there'd not been a client in the room.
Well, yeah.
And I thought that was interesting. But
he was 52 years old. I did the math. He was 52. He just looks old. 52 old. Back in the 30s is old.
Well, they've been a tough 52 years because he looks old. And and I liked that. I liked that, the fact that he was, there was a bit of darkness to him. But he's neither here nor there, I didn't think.
Yeah, well, it had nowhere to go, which is another problem straight away, because he does the thing where Effie puts the phone down and he asks her to go do something, so he listens in and hears a phone call between Spade and his wife. And you said, you're like, oh, he's going to go do something. You think he's going to do something, but then nothing happens, and it's sort of like the script is trying to make you feel bad for him, but I don't.
No, and we've no time to.
Yeah, his story just felt kind of boring to me. I don't think the setup of him hearing the phone call and storming in the office was really paid off, because him being annoyed with Spade to then go and, because he was in the book, he's going to go, he wants to have an affair with Wonderly.
Yeah.
So it's like, why? That's what's meant to happen. That's how you get shot.
In the book, he and Spade are no better than each other, are they? If Archer knows, I can't remember if he does in the book or not, but if he knows in the book,
I don't think he does.
Then he's not going to give a shit, is he? Because he's just as bad. But this makes out that he's like out for vengeance almost. Yeah, he's going to give Spade a kicking.
Yeah,
and as you say, it don't go anywhere. So it's a strange. It's an interesting choice, but it's a strange one if you're not going to pursue it, which they don't.
Yeah. So for me, I that whole sort of his introduction and then exit, just, I don't know. They didn't quite work for me. I was a little bit bored. Not bored, but just, I don't know. It didn't land. It didn't land.
No, it didn't land. What about Cairo?
Again, like Gutman, he suffers from he's too comedic, and he also has that sort of, he looks like a villain with his little tiny mustache and like chin fluff. Like he has a sort of forced villain look to him that I don't know. And it's funny because there's the scene where, he offers Spade money to, get the Falcon, all that kind of stuff. And, Spade knocks him out and takes the gun and blah, 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 blah. And then at the end, Spade gives him the gun back and does now, if you put your hands behind your head, I'm going to search you, and they literally do the same scene in the 41 version, almost exactly the same.
Yeah.
It just doesn't land in the 31 version. It feels too goofy.
And this is what I find interesting, because we've talked about the lack of sexuality in the 41, where the women are concerned.
Yeah.
But Peter Lorre's got subtext sexuality all over the place. You know?
Yeah.
Stroking his cane and whatever, smelling of gardenia and whatever it is. So, and given that, this is pre-code, you'd think,
Yeah.
It's just a bit of it's an odd reversal.
Yeah.
It's an odd reversal.
Yeah.
I just couldn't get Johnny Depp out of my mind when
he's got the Jack Sparrow beard. That's what it is.
Yeah,
Jack Sparrow beard.
Like a precursor to Johnny Depp. Yeah, again, it's unfair, but I find it inevitable that Peter Lorre is so good, just as Sydney Greenstreet is so good.
Yeah. They're the icons for this particular role, or these roles rather. They're so strong, and these. And look, and again, this is where it's like, is it the actors or is it the direction? Like, is more emphasis
combination of the two?
Yeah, could Dudley Diggs and Otto Matieson could they have done it if the direction was a bit different? I don't know. I don't know, but I think this leads us once and for all to our star of the show. That smarmy son of a bitch.
Yeah, this is one sleazy man.
Ricardo Cortez.
Jeez.
Okay, so I did a bit of research on this guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, Cortez. He's he's a Latin guy. All right. Nope.
No.
His real name is Jacob Krantz. I think he was born in New York.
Yeah,
or something like that. And Hollywood people were like, "Hey, you look like you could be Latino." And we've had some popular Latino looking men in films in the silent era, and that's still a look that we want to push. So we're going to change your name to Ricardo Cortez, just because you kind of look a little bit Latin.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean, that's just a little bit on the racist side.
Just a little bit, yeah. And he had a brother, Stanislaus, who became Stanley Cortez.
Oh my God.
And Stanley Cortez was a cinematographer on not only Orson Welles' The Magnificent Ambersons, but also on Night of the Hunter with Robert Mitchum. It's
all connected.
So they do it twice because Ricardo's now got to be called Cortez. So Stanley. It's not good, that is it?
No, it's a little bit awkward. I was like, oh, ew. That's earlier at the opening of the episode. That ooh, that's the ooh. Oh no. But this is one of the dumbest performances for Sam Spade.
I couldn't get Johnny Depp out of my mind for Cairo, and I couldn't get the Joker out of my mind for this bloke.
You know what he looks like? He looks like the young version of the Joker in Batman '89. When it's the young version, you ever dance with the devil under the pale moonlight?
Yes,
he does that grin. That's it.
He's grinning. He's grinning at everything. He grins even when there's no cause to grin.
Yes. And
he's so sleazy and so.
Yeah. Well, so here's my problem. I don't mind the sleaze, right? I don't mind him being sleazy. I don't mind him sleeping around. I don't mind him being embroiled in affairs and stuff like that. I don't mind this sort of I don't give a fuck. This is what I'm gonna do attitude with the way he's with stuff. It's the bad acting. Yeah. It's the bad comedic acting in the way that Dudley Diggs is looking like he's in a Three Stooges sketch. This, Ricardo Cortez is also coming across as if he is in a slapstick comedy, and it undercuts. It's like a precursor to every single goddamn Marvel movie. Everything is undercut with his stupid jokes and with his stupid grinning and his stupid laughing.
Yeah.
That it's hard to take it serious.
Yeah, this is Robert Downey Jr. as Sam Spade.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't mind the sleaze. When I say sleazy, it's the look in his eye. It's this sort of creepy, leering look he's got in his eye. I don't mind the sleaze. It's just the.
Well, see, again, I don't mind that either because Sam Spade is the blonde devil.
So badly.
He's the blonde devil, isn't he? So he's doing anything devilish.
Yeah, this didn't strike me as devilish. This just struck me as stupid, half-witted.
Right. Okay. So it's not sleaze. It's a dumb look in his eye.
It's that sort of end of pier cartoon sleaze.
Okay.
That sort of Benny Hill type.
Sure.
Leering.
Okay.
Because if I looked at a girl like that, she'd just die laughing. So
yes,
I reckon Sam Spade he certainly is sleazy, he certainly is leery, and he's all the rest of it. But I think there's a dangerous quality to his the way he looks. This bloke looks like a moron.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. One scene that I was laughing at is the drug scene, is when he's drugged and he's fighting the drugs off. He just
goes on forever.
It goes on for way too long. You could have given more to Dwight Fry if you'd cut, a minute of him sauntering around. It just went on and on and on, and his acting wasn't very good.
No,
and it just went on.
It just looks as if he's tired.
Yes. He's someone who doesn't know how to act drugged. Where you can again, this is where look, Bogart is a fantastic actor. I much prefer his version of Spade. Yeah. His drugged scene is great.
Well, first of all, I agree.
Kick in the head.
Yes, the kick in the head, that never ceases to shock me. I think that is incredible. What I love about Bogart's version of this scene is, instead of just sitting there in a chair looking as if he's going to have a nap, he's first of all suspicious of the drink. Then he realizes what's happened and he's cross with himself because he throws it to one side. And then he stands up and falls over that. Is it like a hostess trolley or?
Yeah.
Is it a table or something?
Something like that. Yeah.
And it, that's what you do. You'd hold on to something and it would give way.
Yeah.
So much more natural. And he collapses, and you don't get the sense that this is a man who is just tired.
Yeah.
You get the sense that this is a man who's been drugged and is about to fall at his most weak, be his most vulnerable in the whole film. And they polish it off with a kick to his head.
Yeah.
Whereas in this, it cuts to him lying on the floor.
Yes.
It's just sort of lying like Michael Myers, just on the floor, like dead straight and like no sense. He just looks like he's asleep. It's ridiculous. For what should be a tense scene, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yes, and that is the huge drawback for this version of the film. As even if Gutman and Cairo were weak, if your Spade had at least been equally as strong as your Ruth Wonderly, you could have had something great here.
Yeah.
But because he is, and because he's just the end scene. Talk about the end scene. So even when he is delivering that line of, "Oh well, I hope they don't hang your pretty little neck."
Yeah.
You're just like,
what are you laughing at?
What's so fucking funny, you fucking fucker? Like, God, it was really irritating. It irritated the shit out of me.
Yeah.
And then, then we get the final moment where this is a scene that's not in the book, but it's a very good scene until the end. And that is when Spade goes to visit Bridget in jail.
Mm-hmm.
And, walking down past all the ladies in jail, goes to her cell, and they have a kind of a heart-to-heart moment. He's got a little bit, she's out acting him by leaps and bounds, even still, but he's a little bit more reserved in this. He's still kind of got his cocky attitude going on, and then they finish the conversation. He goes and leaves, and he tells the lady warden or whatever, give her anything she wants, in a really serious manner. Give her anything she wants. Give her ice cream. Give her good food. Give her whatever she wants. And then the lady, in a very what today would be like a stupid Marvel moment, turns and says, "And who's gonna pay for it?"
Yeah,
and then she's like, "Well, the DA, of course." Jolly's away. And I'm like, you just undercut
everything.
This really great scene by doing this jackassery.
Yeah. Call me at the DA's office. And as if Sam Spade would go and work at the DA's office.
Right.
Sam Spade is so... he is nobody's lackey, is he? He's nobody's subordinate. To the extent that Miles Archer's not even cold and he's getting his name taken off the door.
I was going to say, he peeled that name off right away.
Yeah. So Spade is a man like at ease with himself, and he will look after himself. He's not going to take orders from a DA. And the whole point of, as we've said many times, of noir PIs is that they are not part of the establishment. So this ending is just
weird,
horrendous. Those last few seconds are just awful.
Yeah.
And it turns out he's solved the mystery by asking some Chinese bloke, whatever he is, that then he's reported in the press. You think, Sam Spade didn't need that. We didn't need that. We didn't need any of that.
No.
This story can tell itself,
Yes.
And this constant grinning and mugging, I think, mugging to the camera. I know Spade, the book often says he grins, doesn't it? But not like this. I mean, this is just vaudeville.
No. I don't know what he was thinking with all of this. Like, it's not even. It's just bad acting. You can be cocky and you can have grins. I mean, I don't know.
Bogart grins. Bogart grins.
Yeah, he grins all the time, but it's in a way that feels authentic and real.
And it's also a grin that makes me think, I'm not going to cross you.
Yeah.
Whereas this idiot, I just like, what are you laughing?
I guess he's not really grinning. He's just doing this joke. He's just doing the Joker smile. It's just full on smile of
smiling. Yeah.
And you're like, oh my God, dude, dial it back. Like he clearly doesn't know how to do cocky.
What I like, Bogart doesn't look like Sam Spade either.
No.
But what he does is inhabit him.
Yes. Yeah.
And the spirit of Sam Spade is all over Bogart's performance.
Yes.
Which is why it doesn't matter to me that he doesn't look like the character from the book. I don't really care about that. Whereas this bloke doesn't look like him and doesn't act like him.
No.
At any time, I don't think. Yeah. Even when he's trying to...
I don't know. I do think I think there are aspects of the character that are true. And I think some of that is his, like the sleaziness stuff.
Mm.
And I think, and a lot of that sleaziness will be excised in the Bogart version. Yeah. Which I think that's, and so this is why another reason why Cortez's version is so frustrating, because you have a pretty close adaptation of who Sam Spade is, and that is a dangerous, self-serving, sleazy person. And you've got the self-serving side down, and you've got the sleazy side down with the way you're treating, women, and you have all these women on the go and so on and so forth. But you're lacking that sort of, you're lacking the grit. There's no grit.
Right. So go back to the point we were talking about before. Is it the actor or the script? In this, bear in mind what you've said. For me, this isn't the script's fault. This is his fault.
Yeah, I agree. Totally.
Because I can accept that Spade is there on the page, but he sure isn't there on the screen.
Yeah,
and that's what I mean. This bloke isn't Sam Spade to me. What I'm seeing is not Sam Spade. And that is frustrating because, and it's too much of a distraction for me that I can't get past it really. So so whilst the lines are Spades and the actions are Spades, I don't buy them in this version because he's not selling them to me. I think that's really what I mean. So this is a more faithfully written adaptation of Spade, perhaps in terms of script than Bogart, because Bogart doesn't do some of the things that you've mentioned, but it's nowhere near sold enough. It's nowhere near sold as well either.
Yeah, no. And I think, look, if you wanted this version of Spade to be, I don't know, a little bit jokey, a little bit lighthearted, a little bit whatever, you then do that. You could have done that, but they don't even, it's not even that that I don't even feel like his grittiness is like a mask.
No,
I just feel that it's just plain bad acting.
Yeah, me too.
That's all I got.
And the question it raises is, why are all these brilliant women falling over him? Because he's a moron.
Yeah. Yes.
An absolute cretin. but that is the performance's fault. Yeah, you're absolutely right. That is the performance's fault, and it's a shame because he's in every scene.
He is. I mean, this to me was Bebe Daniels' show. She was stealing every goddamn scene she was in. Literally. I mean, I was quite literally just watching it for the lady roles, like for the their scenes were great. They were popping on camera, and then anytime they weren't there, I thought, can we hurry up and get back to them? I mean,
I was exactly the same. The same. And the two cops, every time the two cops were on, they're just two planks of wood. The delivery of those lines are just appalling, and that's nothing to do with the age of the film, because so many great performances in films of this year, let alone this period. The
tonal problems, and I think the tonal problems will then be resolved in the 41 version. It's just that you then end up having a very lackluster Bridget O'Shaughnessy, Heffy, and Iva. And there is a serious lack of sex appeal.
Definitely. Because the ideal version of the Maltese Falcon, the ideal adaptation of the Maltese Falcon for me is the 41 version with those three female leads.
Yes, and no code.
Transposed. And no code. And a smattering of sex appeal. Yeah, no code.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the bit where he the scene where he talks about palming the $1,000 bill.
Yeah.
So much better in this version because what does it say about Spade that it's just enough for him for her to say, "No, Sam, I've not got it. I didn't do it. I didn't nick it." And he goes, "Yeah, all right then." Whereas in this, he makes a strip.
And that's way more horrifying. It's it's like, okay, this is a very dark aspect of Spade's character, but he's grinning, and are you meant to be like grinning with him? Like, what?
And when she throws a glove at him or whatever it is, the first bit, or a hat, whatever it is, he's sort of pleased with it. It's like a little, it's like a prize.
Yeah. Yes.
It's so misjudged. Because otherwise, I think that is a brilliant dark. So the idea of that scene is really dark. Yeah.
The idea of that scene is, this is going to be a lame example maybe, but it's that scene in Mission Impossible 2. When, oh goodness, what's the lady's name?
Tandy
Newton's character, whatever her name is, when she goes to Dougray Scott's, when she gets implanted into Dougray Scott's life again. And he's like, "I bought you those dress. Put it on right now." And we watch him oogle disgustingly. That is, that's really what they would have, what this scene should have been.
That's what it should be. Yeah.
Not this stupid ass grin from this jackass.
No, he's borderline giggling when she's throwing her clothes at him. It's just horrendous.
Yeah,
it ruins what should be a very tense. And otherwise, because when the camera's on her, it is tense. Because again, she's acting the screen off.
Yeah,
and when it cuts to him, it's just like, I almost expect some like clown music, and those like things. You know,
my notes in this, particularly at the end scene when he's like, "Call the DA's office." I literally wrote, "This ends like a damn Bugs Bunny cartoon."
Yeah, it does.
That's all, folks. Oh my god.
Yeah, it definitely shouldn't. It should end the way the book ends.
This was a very interesting watch. There's so, like I said, there are things that are genuinely, truly fantastic about this. Like some of the cinematography, all the sets, all of the clothes. Your three female leads are all outstanding, really, truly outstanding. And then you just have this other half that just, I don't know. No one got the memo. It's like these three are acting in one film, and these three are acting for a completely different other film, and it is jarring and confusing.
The three women are in the Maltese Falcon, and the three men are in, like, I don't know, Carry On Maltese Falcon.
yes.
That's what it does come across as. This sideshow or end of the pier type vaudeville show of the worst kind.
God. If you could take, would you be open to a remake of the Maltese Falcon? If you had someone who was like, "These are the bits I love about this one. These are the bits I love about this one." Is it possible that we could get a best of both worlds adaptation of The Big Sleep that would be, just as satisfying? Because the thing is, look, the 31 version, it's not unwatchable. It's very, very watchable, and you're gonna have fun with it. The 41 version is great, so that's very watchable. But there's still things that sort of let it down. This is where you don't have that Murder My Sweet, Farewell My Lovely, comparison where both are fantastic.
No.
And there you go. I feel like I'm still waiting for that other version of the Maltese Falcon to be made so that I have two versions that I love for different reasons. Yeah.
The answer to your question is absolutely.
Yeah.
I'd be well up for a remake of it.
I agree. I would love to see that. I doubt we will, but I would be very keen on that. I'd rather that than a Liam Neeson Marlowe movie.
Yeah, me too.
Coming to a podcast near you.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
Do you have any other comments, the remaining last little comment?
Only to say that despite what we've said about Cortez and the other two, Cairo and Gutman, this is worth watching. This is worth seeking out and watching. It's an interesting piece of film history, I think. I think a lot of pre-code films are worth watching and worth seeking out for the historical value of them. And it is a good adaptation of the Maltese Falcon that is let down by some crummy performances. I think it does the book as much justice as it can. So
it does.
It's well worth seeking out.
You got enough out of it. I agree.
Yeah.
Actually, before we rate it, I don't like the Falcon in this movie. It's not nowhere near as cool as the Falcon in the 41 version.
I agree, which is why neither of us got a replica of this one.
Exactly. I got a replica of the other one downstairs, and it's fantastic. This one, I was just like, oh, that's lame, but...
A bit lame.
Right.
Yes.
It sums up the film.
Yeah, it just doesn't look as good. I mean, there's no sort of... I have no critical analysis to give to this. It just does not look as good.
No, it's a very boring prop, whereas the other one had something that popped. Anyway, we'll rate this now. So for those who don't know, we rate all of our films out of Falcons. We base this rating system off the Maltese Falcon. We give all of our films 1 out of 5 Falcons, 1 being the worst, 5 being the best. Maltese Falcon, 1931, starring Ricardo Cortez as Jacob Krantz as Sam Spade. Matt, what do you give it? What do you give it?
Well, I enjoyed it. I didn't love it, but I enjoyed it. We've set out what is brilliant about it, and we've set out what is awful about it. So for me, it's pretty much bang down the middle. I'm giving it a 3.
Yeah, I think I'm going to give it a 3 Falcons as well. I'll give it a 3. I think there's a version where I could have given it a 2.
I think I contemplate going right down the middle and saying 2.5, but I think that's a bit mean.
Yeah,
I think that's a bit mean. I mean, it's not the Wachowski.
No, it's not. It's not. I mean, as bad as the male actors are, the female leads are so fantastic. And again, I'm going to give it to set design, to production value, to cinematography, to so many things that really, really, really do work. Work. Yeah. It's just a shame that our lead is got the face of a twat. He's got the line. It's like, it's again back to Mission Impossible. It's like when Dougray Scott's character in Mission Impossible 2, Ambrose says that Ethan Hunt is grinning like an idiot every 15 minutes. Yeah, that is Ethan Hunt really doesn't do that. He grins a couple of times in the first movie, but nowhere near as much as what this motherfucker is grinning.
No, this bloke grins anything.
Yes. Well, I think we're done. I think we've thoroughly investigated Maltese Falcon 1931, so we can put the file in the drawer and put it away. We will be back next week with another case. If you haven't yet, like, subscribe, leave reviews on Apple and Spotify, and leave comments and things like that. We'll respond to them. But in the meantime, remember to take care walking down those mean streets.